Joe.
I'm Joe's mom.
And Hi, I'm Joe.
I'm Joe's mom.
And we're Eastside Vibes. Today we're going to talk about an artist so I've been trying to think of an excuse to listen to this guy's last album. Because they're pretty popular, or he's pretty popular, but he's not a super mainstream R&B artist.
Yeah.
Although his songs do have hundreds of millions of streams, but still, this isn't The Weeknd or something,
right. Where he puts out an album and everybody's like,
I could justify showing, although you've heard his music, I could justify showing that to you.
Right. Oh, completely.
As far as Brent Faiyaz goes, I didn't really know if, I was trying to do more popular stuff, but Brent Faiyaz randomly released a mixtape near the end of last month.
I heard that actually.
That I love, and out of nowhere, he had a couple one-off singles that came out this year, but I just assumed they were singles because he's done that a lot in the past. But they were obviously for this project.
Correct.
And so his album from 2022 is called Wasteland, and like I said, that's one of my favorite albums of last year. It might be my favorite album of last year.
Okay.
It's a super cool story-driven album about a pretty kind of messed up topic.
Right,
but,
right. And I was telling you, but you already knew that critics say that his music is like storytelling.
Yeah, that's usually what he does. At least for his last two albums, he's done that. But so this project is called Larger Than Life, and it feels from my opinion, it feels partly, one, it's executive and produced by Timbaland, and you can hear that in a lot of the songs. It feels partly like a Timbaland and Brent Faiyaz collaboration, and partly some of these songs are I want to say throwaways, or they were written for Wasteland.
Right.
But they just weren't selected.
Okay.
You can tell by the lyrics of some of these because they match up with what he was saying on that album.
So he just put those on here.
And yeah, he put these ones just because they were still good songs that he wanted to release. That's what I'm assuming. That's what this is.
Right.
Because Larger Than Life isn't as cohesive or story driven as his last two full length albums. It also feels like a holdover basically until whatever he puts out next.
Okay.
He hasn't really done this in the past, so the fact that we got music from him 2 years in a row like this is cool. And usually it takes a few years in between each release. So
right.
I like that we got more Brent Faiyaz music, and I had an excuse to get my mom to check him out because I thought that she would like this type of R&B that's definitely inspired by the 90s.
Right.
But yeah, we're going to get right into our opinions on Brent Faiyaz's Larger Than Life. As always, we're going to pick a few of our favorite songs and then talk about our opinions at the end. And the first song is one of my mom's favorites. It's the first song on the album. It's called Popular, or he's pretty popular, but he's not a super mainstream R&B artist. Yeah. Although his songs do have hundreds of millions of streams, but still, this isn't The Weeknd or something.
Right. Where he puts out an album and everybody's like,
I could justify showing, although you've heard his music, I could justify showing that to you.
Right. Oh, completely.
As far as Brent Faiyaz goes, I didn't really know if, I was trying to do more popular stuff, but Brent Faiyaz randomly released a mixtape near the end of last month.
I heard that actually.
That I love, and out of nowhere, he had a couple one-off singles that came out this year, but I just assumed they were singles because he's done that a lot in the past. But they were obviously for this project.
Correct.
And so his album from 2022 is called Wasteland, and like I said, that's one of my favorite albums of last year. It might be my favorite album of last year.
Okay.
It's a super cool story-driven album about a pretty kind of messed up topic.
Right,
But
right. And I was telling you, but you already knew that critics say that his music is like storytelling.
yeah, that's like usually what he does.
Mm-hmm.
At least for his last two albums,
Right.
he's done that. But so this project is called Larger Than Life, and it feels like, from my opinion, it feels partly, well, one, it's like executive and produced by Timbaland, and you can hear that in
Yes.
a lot of the songs. It feels partly like a Timbaland and Brent Faiyaz collaboration, and partly like some of these songs are I want to say like throwaways, or like they were written for Wasteland,
Correct.
but they just weren't selected.
Okay.
You can tell by like the lyrics of some of these, because they match up with what he was saying on that album.
So he just put those on here.
And yeah, he like put these ones just because they were still good songs that he wanted to like release. That's what I'm assuming. That's what this is.
Right.
Because Larger Than Life isn't like as like cohesive or like story driven as his last two like full length albums.
Mm-hmm.
It also feels like a holdover basically until whatever he puts out next.
Okay.
He hasn't really done this in the past, so the fact that we got music from him 2 years in a row like this is cool. Like, and usually it takes a few years in between each release. So
right.
I like that we got more Brent Faiyaz music, and I had an excuse to get my mom to check him out because I thought that she would like this type of R&B that's definitely inspired by the 90s.
Right.
But yeah, we're going to get right into our opinions on Brent Faiyaz's Larger Than Life. As always, we're going to pick a few of our favorite songs and then talk about our opinions at the end. And the first song is one of my mom's favorites. It's the first song on the album. It's called Tim's Intro, or I'm assuming that means Timbaland's intro.
Right.
And yeah, why don't you tell us why you like this one so much?
Well, I like this song so much. What really grabbed me is the fact that he used, what is that called again when you put a song in it?
Sample.
He sampled TLC's No Scrubs.
Yeah.
And as soon as I heard that, it hooked me.
And I even think the beginning of this song, which isn't, because the instrumental changes, it sounds like an interpolation of like I can't remember what Timbaland song it is.
Okay.
Like you were saying, like I've heard this, but like the Larger Than Life, because he's saying Larger Than Life.
Right.
I don't think that's from another song.
Okay.
I think like that cadence is from another song, but he's just saying Larger Than Life.
Yes, yeah.
But I couldn't remember what song that is.
Right.
It's some older Timberland song that like you would recognize.
Right. But it gets you. I mean, it just it draws you in, and then it makes you think, what song is this? What song is this?
And Timbaland has like this very iconic, like deep voice that like it's really engaging.
Right. And you can hear that when he says Larger Than Life.
But I would assume the reason you like this song is because of Brent, like the way he sings on the No Scrubs part.
Yes, he has a really great voice. I mean, really great.
Like I wondered if like I was curious if you would agree with this comparison. I think that like his vocals remind me a lot of like Usher's.
There was a lot of comparison to Usher. Some people were like, he's better than Usher. I don't know about that.
I think he might have a better voice than Usher.
Wow.
I think he has more like you like Usher so much because like you grew up with him, like you're used to that.
Yes.
But as far as his range goes, I don't know if Usher can hit some of the high notes that Brent can hit.
I'd have to really go back and I like Usher a lot, so I'd have to go back and listen to some of his songs.
Performing at the Super Bowl.
I know. I'm excited. This should be a pretty good Super Bowl. Well, Rihanna was good too.
Yeah, Rihanna was great.
Yeah.
But Tim's intro is just like I don't know, like Brent's take on that song, No Scrubs.
Yes.
And out of all the songs on this record, it's interesting that you like this one so much. It's probably like the least lyrically compelling.
Correct.
He's not saying as much on this one.
Right.
All the rest of them, like he's saying something for sure.
Right. I thought maybe what he was saying is that he's now become more popular, so now he's living larger than life, than what he was living before he became famous.
Yeah, this album, it seems to be him like talking about with an ex, like how he's gotten to this point where he doesn't need her anymore.
Right, exactly.
But and then there are some songs where he's like, I still need you, and there's other songs where he's like, screw you, basically.
Yep.
But yeah, that's Tim's intro. It's a really good introduction to this album because it drew my mom in. It draws you in. You're like, okay, I gotta hear the rest of whatever this is, because this dude is inspired by the '90s and he's very talented.
Yes.
The second song we picked is Last One Left. It's technically says it's featuring Missy Elliott, but it really uses an interpolation of one of her songs.
Right. The song with her and Beyonce, what was it again?
Yeah.
Crazy Feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like her vocals are on this song, but I don't think she's singing them live for this. I think they use them. I agree. And then it also features Lil Gray, a rapper, and I like his verse a lot in this because I think it kind of like contrasts from like the brighter and lighter sound that both Missy and Brent have. So I actually think the rap verse in this is very good. It just like puts something different on the song.
Correct.
But yeah, why do you like this one so much?
I like this song because, again, the same thing when that intro was playing, I kept saying, who is this? Who is this? And then I felt, well, I didn't say who is this so much as I knew Missy Elliott was on it. Yeah. And I kept listening to it going, where is she? Is she the one singing in the background?
Yeah, you forget
She's
that.
Singing.
She actually has a very good voice.
Right. We're used to her rapping, but...
I remember she has a couple songs though, like that I can remember that like she can sing.
Right, she has a great voice.
But she was just known for her rapping, obviously, for the most part, and her dancing.
Correct. And so I said I kept listening and listening, trying to figure out where she was in the song. And then I looked it up and I found out it was that. And again, I was very surprised because she has such a good singing voice.
If something is executive produced by Timbaland, it has to have Missy Elliott in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were best friends growing up.
Oh, I didn't know that. So they've known each other for a long time.
Yeah, like since like middle school, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's
high school
awesome.
For sure, but
that's awesome.
I'm pretty sure middle school.
That's really cool. It's cool when you have musical artists that actually know people, like grew up with people, and then they both become famous. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, so I was like, usually most things that like with him are gonna have her because they're just like best friends.
Okay.
So I was happy that she got on this record, and this. It would have been cool if she had a rap verse on this record, too.
Right.
But in this way, it's pretty interesting.
It is.
And, yeah, like, as with every Brent song, it's like, a lot of times the best thing about it is just the vocals. Like, this guy is just a really good singer.
Right.
Like, he can sing on any instrumental, and it's going to draw you into it, because, like, he has a very good voice.
It's for me, it's like... in the 80s when they just really had good R&B. Luther was one of them that they say he has a he's like there's you can find the connection between the two of them, and that's who I grew up on, were people like Luther. And so when I was listening to the album, I was like, this is pretty amazing. This guy could have been dropped in the 80s. Yeah. And this would have been a popular album then.
And, like, there are moments on this record, later, probably, like, more my picks, where the instrumentals, like, are, like, interesting and a little weird. But for the most part, like, it's pretty simple instrumentals.
Right. Yes.
And that's, like, why he's so good, because... Like, he doesn't have to do anything, like, sonically that's going to draw you in. Just listening to him is what draws you in.
And I think that the samplings draw you in, too.
Yeah, he's, like, into, like, music that, like, a lot of, like, people are into, like, older and younger people. So, and Last One Left is, like, a really good example of that, because it, like, takes this old Beyonce and Missy song and puts, like, a modern, like, spin on it.
Yes.
And, like, the rap verse, like, also, like, makes it feel more modern. I don't know who Lil Gray is, but I'll probably look into him because I like his voice on this.
They said that when I was reading, they said that he likes to bring people from like underground people from Virginia where he lives.
Okay.
He likes to bring people and put them on as put them on in his songs, and that's probably where he's.
There are a few other features on this where like I didn't recognize them, but I could see that maybe they're just like underground people that he's trying to bring up, because he was an underground artist that like kind of blew up online.
Okay.
And like became like very popular, but like very it's not like he like got onto a label. It's not like he got endorsements from big artists. He kind of came out of nowhere.
Right.
And that's one reason I've always appreciated Brent Faiyaz.
Okay.
The third song that we picked is another one of my mom's. It's Best Time. And why don't you tell us why you like this one so much?
I like this one because I like what it's about. Well, one thing is that he's paying homage to Virginia in this song.
Yeah.
Like, you can hear him actually saying it. And for me, it was what I got out of it is that he had a girl that he loved from Virginia. And then he left her. She's changed so much that he's just like, you know what? You're not who you were. And guess what? I'm the best thing you ever had.
This is a song that I feel like was, like I said there earlier, there are songs that feel like throwaways from Wasteland. This is one that feels that way because there are some songs on that record where it sounds like he's saying you changed, and then there's other songs where he's saying I changed, basically, and I want you back. So I think he's just being a dick here. I think like she didn't change.
Right.
Like this, like if you hear from that record, she's supposed to be the mother of his kid.
Okay.
So like
when you have larger than life too, I mean that's really just kind of like
he's the one that changed. Yes, it's not her. He's just trying to make himself feel better by
and look good.
By saying that she
it was her
changing
it was her
is the reason he left.
Yeah, it was her fault.
But yeah, so my mom wrote down that this song is like an homage to Pharrell. In particular, it's a sample of a Khalees song called Caught Out There, which was pretty popular from the 90s. And you can tell that, like, I remember when I wrote about this, I said, it sounds like Timbaland, like, reproduced a Pharrell song. Because it still has, like, the Timbaland-style drums, like, the deeper drums.
Right.
But you can tell that the beat and the funky, like, bass line, it sounds like Pharrell.
Right, because
he's known for that stuff.
Pharrell likes to go, like, 1, 2, 3, 4 in his beats before he actually starts a song.
Well, yeah, the count at the beginning is there. Yeah. But then, like, the drums are deeper than what you would expect a Pharrell song to have.
Right.
But it still has that, like, groovy, like, feeling of a Pharrell, like a soulful Pharrell track.
Right. I also said it was like a poppin' song, like, you know, the way it is. It's I like the way.
I think it's the most upbeat song on the album.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Like, it's gotta be the most like danceable song.
Yes.
One thing that I just thought of this. You said that this song is a little bit of an homage to Virginia. It's also an homage to Pharrell. And I don't know if you knew this, that Pharrell's from Virginia. He's from like the same area that Brent Faiyaz is from.
Wow.
I'm sure that Pharrell is like one of his biggest inspirations, I would assume.
Yeah.
Because he's from like, they're both from like the Virginia Beach area.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, so like it's an extra homage to Pharrell and Virginia because he's singing about Virginia too.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
But the fourth song we picked is one of my picks. It's Moment of Your Life featuring Coco Jones.
She has a beautiful voice.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who I knew where I knew Coco Jones from. She was like a Disney Channel star when I was like a kid.
Did you look up like what Disney Channel like movie she or show
I know she was I remember the movie she was from.
Oh, okay.
It was it had Tyler James Williams from Everybody Hates Chris. Okay. Like young Chris.
Right.
And it's like this rap movie. It's like, it's way different than any other like Disney Channel stuff. It's about like rap music. It's kind of it's a cool movie. And it has this hilarious freestyle at the end. But she's in that movie. But I think she was also on a show or something. That was just like after my, when I was like too old for Disney Channel.
Right. I'm not.
But I'm pretty sure, because it said she was a Disney Channel star, and like so that I think she was on something that I don't know.
We'll have to look it up.
But yeah, I think from what I read, she's just signed to Atlantic Records, which is what he's signed to, and they did this collaboration. Because I don't think he has association with her necessarily.
Okay.
But I would say I would like them to collaborate again because their voices sound very nice together.
Definitely.
It's kind of funny that like she has a deeper voice than him in a way. Like her voice her tone's a little like huskier.
Yes.
And he has a very almost like the Weeknd style, like high pitched, like brighter Usher tone. So I think it's cool that the female vocals provide like the deeper
the
sound.
Female is the bass.
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
He's like the alto and soprano combined.
Yeah, it's real. Like normally you do not hear that kind of thing, and it sounds very cool. Moment of Your Life was the first single that he released this year. Okay. Like I said, I thought it was a one-off single.
Okay.
And it was one of my favorite songs of the year at the time, and it still probably is.
Okay.
I just think the instrumental is very unique. It has Brent Faiyaz in the past has been known for these almost. I want to say that sometimes it sounds like the melodies are played on like a mandolin, which is that Chinese instrument.
Yes.
Like they're very like sparkly, but like in a weird way, like not like American R&B music usually.
Correct.
It's super different sounding. And this song, a lot of the other, like, my mom's picks actually probably didn't have this Brent Faiyaz sound as much. Yeah. This song has that sound for sure. And it's like compared to one of my other, like, songs that also has, like, a typical Brent Faiyaz sound. Okay. This one is more simple, and it's more, like, draws you more just to, like, what they're saying. I also think it's a really sweet song.
Yes.
Like, they're kind of singing back and forth to each other like they're together.
And is she representing the girl from
I think
Virginia?
she's representing the new girl.
Okay. Oh.
Like the girl that he met in LA or whatever.
Right. Oh.
And he's saying like that, like this night like could last forever, basically.
Okay.
Because later, like when you go on from this point in the album, he starts to more talk about her and start to rip on this other girl. So, which is another reason why I think these are like connected to that last album. Okay. That's what he does on that album. Okay. He keeps going back and forth. Wow. It's really toxic.
It is. He brought up the fact that, you know, The Weeknd can be nasty.
And he's pretty, he's
pretty nasty too.
This guy's even more so. But, I mean, this definitely gives me a reason to, in the next couple of months, show you that one. Because you got to hear, like, how bad that is compared to this. Okay. Like, you think some of these songs are toxic? Like, what happens at the end of that album is, it's like, dude, like, I hope this is a story.
Right.
Like, I hope this isn't real because you are kind of a monster.
Right.
But you're great at music, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
But, the next song I picked is Wherever I Go. Actually, my mom said that she would have picked this one, too, if, I didn't. I think that Wherever I Go has like a very 90s feeling to it. It reminded me of like, I don't know, like almost like Destiny's Child.
Oh, wow.
It kind of has like, that early 2000s, I don't know, Destiny's Child like feeling. Aaliyah, maybe like that style of R&B.
Yeah, I agree.
Christina Aguilera, even maybe. Like that style of R&B, like early Christina, right? Like when she first came out. Okay. Because in the beginning she was trying to be black.
Oh.
But anyway, Wherever I Go is it probably has one of my favorite vocal performances on the album.
I agree.
He like hits these really high notes that are really nice. Like he has a falsetto that not a lot of other people nowadays can do. He's extremely talented singing.
Yes.
And this one has a little more of a simple instrumental, so like you're drawn to like just his vocals.
Yeah, what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is a very like braggadocious song where he's just kind of like he's hit this point where he knows how great he is, and everyone around him just wants to be him, basically, and he's
Yeah.
kind of singing to
That girl.
the girl from Virginia, saying like, "You could have had me."
Right. There was the part of it that really hit me was when he was like, "Hey, if we are still together, I could get you to the front of the line. I could get you in the club, but we're not together."
But if you know the story, he's the one that broke up with her. So.
And that's not the feeling you get at all.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
trying to justify it, maybe.
Yeah, he's trying to justify what he did. Where like if you hear this song without knowing that, you're like, oh, like she must have really like hurt him or something.
Yeah, she was terrible.
But no, he's the terrible one. But yeah, Wherever I Go is I think it's one of them. I think it's kind of an understated song because it's not one that I've heard people talk about,
Right.
but
Maybe
I think it's because it's so simple.
Is it also because of where it's located on the album, maybe?
Yeah, it's in the middle. It
Right.
also feels like a little bit of a throwaway from Wasteland, and people are probably like, this one isn't as unique
Okay.
as some of the other stuff.
I like it.
It's still a very good song.
Yes.
The last song that we picked is Where You At, which was the second single that he released this year.
Okay.
Also a one that I really like.
Okay.
This one reminds me the most of some of his older music.
You said that.
It has like that like kind of like mandolinish sound that's on
Mhm.
Moment of Your Life. This
Okay.
one has that even more so.
Okay.
It's very like Brent Faiyaz, like has like a very weird melody. The beat for this is pretty weird. It's almost like offbeat a little bit.
Yes. Yes.
Like it's supposed to be a little bit off to like get you to like to get drawn into the song more because
Mhm.
it just sounds weird.
Right.
And I love I'm into like later Kanye music. I love offbeat music
Yes, you
because
do.
it's just different.
Mhm.
You're not gonna hear a lot of R&B like this.
No.
You would expect this melody on like a typical like trap beat,
Right.
and it doesn't
Right.
have a typical trap beat at all.
No.
And I really like his vocals on this one. They're really pretty and nice, and they
Mhm.
like fit the I don't know, I guess like the awkward like feeling of the melody.
Mm-hmm.
Where You At seems the least like everything else on this album as far as like the lyrics go.
Correct.
It almost in a way feels thrown in here a little bit because the rest of them are definitely about that
Girl.
either about the girl or about the new girl. And this one, I mean, it could just be about the new girl, but
Okay.
I don't know. To me, it feels kind of like it's about some random person
Oh boy.
that he met.
Oh boy.
So, but I still really like it. That's why I thought this was like a one-off single, because I was
Okay.
like, I don't know what this would be.
Okay. So
Where
do
we
a lot
put
of
this.
artists do like drop one-off singles, and then if they have an album, they don't put that on the album?
Yes, I mean, I like it when artists do that, because if you're gonna
Me-
put out a random song,
Right.
no, you'll be like Drake, where you put out these random singles, then you put them on the album, and you're like, this sounds nothing like anything else.
Correct. Okay.
So, not everyone does this. The Weeknd does this. Like, he'll
Yes,
have like these
yes.
random singles,
Yes.
and then they won't be on the album. But
Mhm.
actually, most artists don't do this.
Okay. Okay.
Usually, they're like, I'm gonna make extra money and just throw it on that album, even if
Okay.
it has nothing to do with it,
Okay.
because people will still listen to it.
Correct.
But when artists do just put out and that's what I thought these were. In this case, they weren't, because he has done that in the past.
Right.
But I like it when artists do that because it gives you something different to listen to.
So if you're excited about the fact that he's got a new album coming, basically, that
Yeah.
it's like, ooh, something's happening.
Trying
here.
to think, there's like a rapper who's known for Kendrick does it, for instance.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Like he had a couple of singles that came out before Mr. Morale last year, but
Okay.
those songs weren't on the album.
Right, but then it makes people, like I said, it makes them think
Excited.
something's happening.
He's
something's
putting out something.
Right.
But I mean, I'm okay with Where You At being on this record because I like this song so much.
Okay.
It's just it feels a little bit out of place as far as the rest of the album goes.
All right.
To me.
All right.
But yeah, it's still it's probably the most I don't know. It has like the most like different sound out
Okay.
of anything.
Yes.
Like it's a little everything about it. So for the most part, a lot of this album feels like like even like the ones that like sound like older Brent Faiyaz music or throwaways from the last album still have like a Timbaland like element to the drums and stuff.
Okay.
But I don't think this song has that.
No, it doesn't.
I think it was like produced separate from that, and they just put this on there, and the rest of the album is like executive produced by Timbaland.
Okay.
But yeah, overall, I really like this record. When I wrote about it, I like didn't rate it as high as like I thought I might have because a lot of it feels like throwaways from his last album, and I wonder if you were to hear that, you would feel the same way.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I really liked that. I really liked that one. So I was like, this is good, but like I kind of want him to do something different, like go into a different era.
Okay. Yeah.
But either way, I'm always happy to get new music from this guy, just because he's very talented.
Very talented. I hope he really, hits in the big world. Is like Usher hits. I hope he does too.
I think he's always gonna be like, kind of like mainstream adjacent. I don't know if he'll ever. Although SZA was that way for years, and now I would say she's mainstream. So maybe he can do that.
It might take a while though.
But yeah, because she was like, I would say SZA for years was at like his level, where like he is getting lots and lots of streams. He is huge. Okay. But you wouldn't consider him mainstream. Okay. And then SZA had SOS, and that made her like, that turned her into like, the next big thing.
So he really hasn't had that song yet that would really.
Yeah, he's had a lot of like viral songs that are really big on like TikTok and stuff. Okay. So he's like really big and probably among younger people because of that.
Okay. What did you rank it?
I gave it like, I think I gave it like a 7 to a 7.5.
Okay. Would you give it a different one now?
Probably like a little above a 7.5. I think the quality of this is really good. Mm-hmm. I just would, I don't know. In a way, I'm still attached. Maybe it's because I'm still attached to that album because it only came out like a year ago.
It must be.
I still listen to those songs from that album. Okay. But maybe in a couple of years I'll listen to that, or hopefully it'll just have something else out. Okay. But
different thing.
I'll be more attracted to this. This to me feels like a holdover mixtape until whatever, because his last album had like a lot more songs and it's more like immersive. It has like the story. Okay. And his last 2 albums have been that way.
Okay. No, so, I agree. This one it keeps referring or referencing.
It definitely has the same topics.
Right.
But it's not like a story.
Yes, I agree.
But like you can still like hear his storytelling. Mm-hmm. Like yes. Individually through the songs, which is cool. Yes. They're just not all like connected. Like that album, like every song literally goes into the next one.
I'll have to listen to that
It's a story. But we can listen to it for the videos eventually. Okay. Because I think you would really like it. Okay. But yeah, that's how I feel. I think this is a really good. It's if you are into R&B and you just want to hear someone new, like check this out and then go check out that Wasteland. Okay. Because I would say if you like this, you're going to really like that. Okay.
I'll have to do that then.
But yeah, what would you give this? How do you feel about it?
So, because I had never heard of him at all, I really didn't know what I was getting into. But truly, when he brought other people's music in, I just was really... I liked it a lot. I know Drake, you said, Drake does that sometimes too.
And he's always, even like his older music, like on Wasteland, you can hear influence from other artists. They're still in that, like, in the vein of that story he's telling.
Oh, definitely.
But like, he's always been known for like definitely wearing his influences on his sleeve. And I love that. When you can like hear like who they like.
Right.
Olivia Rodrigo is really good at that.
That's correct.
You can hear like whoever, you can hear Weezer in this music. You can hear Taylor Swift in this music, but it still is unique to her. Okay. And this is still unique to him. But you can definitely tell like what artists this guy grew up listening to.
Right. I agree. I would rank it a 7 as well because of the fact you said there were just some songs that I didn't like the beat so much, and it wasn't that there was any kind of other song put into it. it just didn't hit with me as much. But the ones that hit with me really hit with me, and that's why I like that. I like the album.
Yeah. And that I wonder if you would like that album more, because those ones that don't hit, like you don't like the sound as much, still fall into what he's saying as a whole.
Right. Oh, definitely.
Whereas this one isn't like that. This one is like those songs that don't hit as much. Like you're like, I'm not gonna re-listen to those anyway because I'm not gonna listen to this whole album again. I'll listen to the ones I like.
Yes.
But for Wasteland, I would listen to that whole album again just because I want to hear that story.
I've got to.
It's an interesting story.
I have to check this album out.
It's definitely like anyone who would listen to it like tells. I mean, it is a story. Like you can hear it to the end.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, that's how we feel about Brent Faiyaz's Larger Than Life. I'm real happy that Brent Faiyaz gave us some new stuff to listen to, so I could show you this cool R&B artist. Next week, we're going to talk about Jungkook's new album. So if you're into K-pop and stuff, you know, get ready for that. I've been listening to it. I've listened to some of it, and I think it's good. I think that guy has such a good voice.
I have, and I think I've referred to him as well. There's triplets at my school who are, I mean, BTS Army 100%. So every time we walk into school together, because we just kind of meet at the same time, I'm always like, oh, what do you think about this one? What do you think about this one? And they really like that album. I could see that. Right. It's been, when I've mentioned the other albums that we've talked about or just, we've put on here, they're like, yeah, it's good because, for them, it's not BTS together. Yeah. But they really like this album that we're going to review.
I wonder if partly I think there's like a lot of like BTS inspiration in this.
Okay.
In some of the instrumentals.
Okay.
So, which would make sense and Jungkook just has such a good voice, and he was probably the most talented one vocally.
Okay.
Which is saying a lot because I really like V's voice too. But yeah, that's how we feel about A Larger Than Life by Brent Faiyaz. I hope you check this out if you don't know Brent and you like R&B, and if you like this, please tell us why you like it in the comments because. I just think it's really cool.
I agree.
Yeah, I like it in the comments because I just think it's really cool.
I agree.
Yeah, I really like V's voice too. But yeah, that's how we feel about A Larger Than Life by Brent Faiyaz. I hope you check this out if you don't know Brent and you like R&B, and if you like this, please tell us why you like it in the comments because I just think it's really cool.
I agree.
Yeah, with that being said, I'm Joe.
I'm Joe's mom.
We're Eastside Vibes, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.
Bye.